Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you for waiting for us. We had to clear up some technical issues, as always. Especially when we're doing these kinds of shows, we had to make sure that everything was straight. All right. So we want to thank you for joining us. We appreciate you spending your Sundays with us. We always appreciate that. And these are some serious Sundays. Ever since May 12th, this country has been in a serious state. And we have to make some serious decisions as a people. We have to decide if we're going to accept what's been going on or if we're going to move forward with something different and something new. So before we get started, uh, you know what to do when you get on here. Use your ad highlights, your ad shares. Make sure that everyone knows what's going on. Make sure you share this, tag some people. We are broadcasting live all over the internet right now. Um, uh, we are broadcasting on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok. And so we are everywhere. So last week, as you know, as we were broadcasting, uh, they decided to take us down off of YouTube. And so a lot of you and most of you are watching on YouTube. So if that happens, just come and join us on Facebook. All right. And so we know it's better because you watch it on TV. You get to see it on the big screen. You get to see it better. But if that happens, of course, these are some serious shows. So they're going to attack us. They're going to continue to attack us. Um, and so we're going to need you to, if it happens on YouTube, we can get it right back up this time. But if it happens and you see it doesn't come right back up, you can search for it, whether you're watching on YouTube under Lincoln Bain or Behavior Evolution or under the Coalition of Independence. A lot of you are on Lincoln Bain and Coalition of Independence right now. Oh, um, a lot of you are on Behavior Evolution too. You're number two. All right. And all right. So the viewership is massive right now. Okay, awesome. All over the internet. That's on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Okay, perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some serious discussion to have today. It's very serious. Um, we got a lot to talk about. I will say that uh, and we got to fix this. We got to fix this. It's not acceptable what we've been going through. And today we're going to go even deeper. We are going to reveal a conversation that we had with politician number one. He actually came to me. I didn't come to him. He came to me and he spoke to me. And I'm going to reveal exactly what that conversation was like. And he did make a confession that he is politician number one. And so we're going to reveal that for you today. It's very important that we do so because our country is under scrutiny right now. We're under scrutiny, not just locally, but we're under scrutiny uh, by the world. And that's a serious problem when stuff like that starts to happen. When your country is under scrutiny by the world, do you have any idea what that means? That's a serious situation. And so right now, countries are watching us, and the US is watching us, and we have a situation that has been confirmed that this matter is under investigations. That means that politicians are under investigation. Do you know what that means? Our politicians, I don't know if you heard what the ambassador said. The ambassador said in response to the very unprofessional statement by the Speaker of the House. That's I like her, to a certain extent. She's doing her thing, but we have to be real. Her statements were very unprofessional and should not have been had. And politician number one told me why she was making those statements. We were downstairs while stuff was going on upstairs. I'm going to reveal all of that to you all today. That she was under instructions. We'll get to that. But her statement was that the investigation, the matter is is the word she used, gossip. Those are not good words to use. When there's an actual documented investigation going on with evidence that has been produced, an affidavit is evidence. And so the the ambassador was asked about this, and he said, "Okay, wait and see." I don't know if you understood what he was doing. He was trying to remain a diplomat because that's his job, but he said, "Wait and see." In other words, oh, that's what you think? Okay, we'll see. Watch what happens. To me, that's how I took what he said. I don't know if you took it the same way, but that's how I took what he said. Um, Wait and see is what he said. And so we have to take this serious. This is not anything that is frivolous or something that we should just brush over. We have to really talk about this. And so our country's under investigation. He said it, that uh, this is an open investigation. And in the investigation, you heard them talk about politician number one, also another separate permanent politician that they said received $2 million. And so when our politicians' names are being called, they're under investigation. One thing that I heard, and we can confirm this later, is that family members of Eric Gardiner, that his bank accounts have been seized, and some of his family members. Um, and so we're looking to confirm that, but that's what we heard. We don't know how after this investigation that it could be possible for the bank accounts of Top Notch, Complete Construction, and all of the companies' name, including another company that we're going to introduce to you today, um, and a whole heap of property that is owned in the gated community. Stay tuned, and we have the documents on that. How that company, these companies, can still have bank accounts. How could the government still be able to pay rent to him when the bank accounts should be seized at this point? I think that's a blight on our country if banks are still taking monies or still allowing the accounts of any of these companies to still be open. I think an announcement should be made. Should be. And so, well, we're going to see with all of this. Um, Before I get started, there was a political troll who made a statement to Maria Daxon. And it actually sounds like a veiled threat, the statement that he made. Let me uh, let me be clear to that person who made that comment, threat, whatever you want to call it, or however you want to see it. Let me be clear to you. Um, we don't need your opinion. And if Maria is out there speaking up on a public matter, she has a right to do so. And if you come near Maria or touch Maria in any way, or anyone does, they could have some serious problems, is all I'm going to say. Now, who I think this person is, we'll reveal that in a second before we get started, because we got plenty to talk about today. We even got to talk about the F&M a little bit in a second, because we're seeing some F&M connections with some of this. And we're wondering why they are halfway going into this and just doing photo ops and asking questions. We'll get to that in a second. Now, so hey, good afternoon. All right, I'm going to play this for you. I'm going to play this for all of you, because we just want these fellas to know that we defend and we protect our own. We ain't like their mother said. We defend and we protect our own. Lynx Jones was murdered, and based on some circumstances that happened right before that, we believe that it was possibly Eric Gardiner who was involved in that. And so we're not, our necks, our mouth is on their necks like a ravishing pit bull, and we're not going to let go until they stop breathing politically. So to this person here, y'all can tell me who this person is if any of y'all recognize his voice. But he is basically making some defamatory statements about the US government. And he's a PLP troll. He's a known PLP troll, if that's who I think it is. And this fella, we're not going to entertain these kinds of conversations because we have freedom of speech and we're going to continue. But he was talking about Maria. Let me play this for you.
Hey, good afternoon, Bahamas, on this 13th day of June 2023. Now, all of y'all pundits who running on with a bunch of nonsense every day since my good friend has been illegally detained in the United States of America concerning some trafficking, right? Especially that crackerjack lawyer by the name of Maria Dotson. Maria, let me say this. When you see Mr. Gardner in the next few weeks in the Bahamas, I want persons like yourself to bite your tongue, and I hope you bite it off because you're all spreading allegation every day in these chat. But politician one, America has nothing on this man. America is trying to build a case while they falsely detain Mr. Eric Gardiner, a businessman. Everyone has a past. I guess you don't have one. One time ago, it's alleged that you used to sleep in your car.
And so he then went on to say some disparaging things about Maria, but that's not the important part of this. So I'm not even going to play that nonsense. But anyone who is out there watching, is that Blackus? It sounds like Blackus to me. Is that Blackus? Or is that Charlie? Who is that? Someone please confirm to me whose voice that is. I want to make sure that is who I assume it is. Um, Sounds like Blackus or Charlie. Y'all let me know, please, before I um, say what I have to say. Y'all let me know. Who do y'all think that is? All right. Um, Someone says yes. Yes, that's Blackus. Okay. Um, Blackus. Okay. Oh, good. That's Blackus. Okay. So Blackus, that is you. Let me make a statement to you. Um, we know that you are a former criminal. You are an alleged former drug dealer. You were the you were the coward who caused Nurse Lund to be killed. Um, persons, a fella from a alleged drug dealer from Abaco, um, had come to the hospital to take you out because they had shot you and you were in the private ward of the hospital, and two persons had come. I have the court files now, but I don't want to go through that because I don't want to distract from what we really could talk about today because it's really important. Um, they came into the hospital and they came to finish you, and they shot at you, or they shot you, and Nurse Lunn ended up in front of you. I won't say if you pulled her in front of you or what really happened or how it happened, but then Nurse Lunn ended up in front of you. I don't know if she was protecting you or you pulled her or whatever happened, but that good, decent woman died. It seems like the PLP keeps using these criminals or former criminals, drug dealers, these kinds of people to be their mouthpieces. I guess people are supposed to be afraid of them. Um, But I'm going to say this. This man who's been a drug dealer is your good friend. I can see why you'll defend him and call me a good friend. I hope America is listening. I know they are. They watch this. Um, you're saying that America illegally detained him illegally, and you're making these accusations against America. I hope you know what you're saying. And if I don't believe that PLP trolls say anything without the permission of their party, and I believe that you are speaking on their behalf because they send their trolls out to make certain statements to influence public opinion. Maria is a Bahamian who is a member of a political party, a third force in this country, and we have a right to investigate, and that's what we are doing. We have a right and a duty to investigate public affairs in this country, not no one's private business, like y'all like to run on with people's private business. We are concerned about public affairs. Maria has a right and a duty to do so. We have a right and a duty to investigate public affairs when our public money is being spent, and we're going to continue to hold their foot to the fire. All right, says I think someone is saying that Eric Gardiner is his cousin. I don't know, but some of Eric Gardiner's family members are going to be called today, including a police officer. All right, this one gonna be serious today, so you all just get your popcorn. All right. Um, to block us, uh, don't touch Maria again. Leave that one alone. All right, leave that one alone. Okay, so and they are talking about Eric Gardner, Player Gardner, coming out soon. I'm going to get to all that because we're going to update you on exactly where Player Gardner is. We know we've been investigating. We know exactly where he is. We're going to reveal that and what is next with him. So all this is coming up in a minute. So just be patient. I'll get there in a second. All right. To those of you out there who are watching this and who support this movement, who believe in what we're doing, we're asking you to help fund the movement. Every political party raises money, including the PLP and FNM, Republicans, Democrats, and we're asking you to fund the movement. We don't want you to just tell us to keep going. We want you to help us to keep going. We want you to be a part of this movement, to help us to continue to stand up, to do the things that we're doing, and to exist. And we will only exist if you help us to exist. As simple as that. And so you have some options. This is one of the options on the screen right now. And so you can click on that link that you see in your chat, or you can scan this from a different device, of course, and you can support the movement, or just go to our website and you can support the movement. You can also go to this link if you're outside of the country or inside the country, and you can support the movement. So any one of these two you can use to donate to our movement, or just go to our website, go to the menu and click on donate, or just scroll down to the bottom, click on donate, and you can donate based on one of those uh, methods that you see there. All right. So please support the movement. Allow us to keep going. We can only do that if you help us keep going. Or you can go to our national headquarters and you can do it in person. All right. Um, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, um, I put the sorry, this way. I put the chat on there because sometimes I'm gonna have to take it out, but sometimes on when you're watching on Facebook, etc., the chat isn't working properly, etc. So we're putting it up there so the person's also on YouTube, because a lot of the chat takes place on my Facebook page. So those persons on YouTube, their chats will also come up right here. And so everyone who is chatting, YouTube, Facebook, on every page, is going to come up here so you can see what everyone is saying. All right. So it's going so fast, I won't be able to read the chats, but you all can participate. And I know trolls are going to be there. The PLP, the FNM, going to send trolls out there to just try to distract everybody. But of course, you all know how to deal with them, and we leave that there. We can't block all of them because there's really tens of thousands of people watching right now as we speak. All right. So let's go. This one is going to be serious. First of all, as we get and for understanding, for some people who don't understand exactly what this is happening and what's going on every week, let me make this clear to you. some people say, okay, get straight to the point. You're taking too long, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that. That's cute that some people say that. This is a 2 hour show. This is this is not a little TikTok video. This is a 2 hour show that we do every week to bring the Bahamian people up to date, to let the Bahamian people have a voice to speak, and so that we can be informed as a people. We can educate the public on what's going on. We've been doing this for years. This is a 2 hour show. And most of the time we go over 2 hours because we don't want to cut people short. We let people call in as much as we can. And so um, uh, when you listen to a radio show on Guardian Radio, it's a 2 hour show. You don't tell them get straight to the point. This isn't that kind of show. If you need that kind of 3 minute thing, then this is not the place for you. This is the place where intelligent Bahamians come to find out exactly what's going on and to be a part of it. All right. If you have ADHD and you need to hear something quick, this is not the place. But we are going to make sure we keep the government's foot to the fire by educating the Bahamian people. It's a 2 hour show. And so that's what this is. So after about an hour, we open the lines and let people speak. And so that's what this is. So people who don't understand, I heard people saying that there's comments sometimes saying, oh, get to the point. You're taking too long. No, no, no. It's a 2 hour show. All right. So hang in. So first, we're going to talk about, uh, the F&M and the efforts they've been making. And then we're going to talk about some other things. We're going to talk about an update with Eric Gardiner. Then we're going to talk about, so just so you know how we're moving today, we found him. We're going to let you know his inmate number and everything. We're going to talk about his court filing that made the papers. And now these people saying that he's coming out in a couple of weeks. We're going to tell you what we believe on that. And then we're going to talk about some of his family ties. This one is going to be serious. And then we're going to talk about the confession of politician number one and why he came up to me and actually spoke to me. Um, when I spoke to him, a couple of people were there. I know Renwood Wells was present, not standing where we was, but standing a little off from us in front of the Parliament door. And also Joshua, I think his name is. I don't remember his last name from. I think he's from R News, the fellow with the locks, the dark skinned fellow. He was also present when Kingsley came up to me and we started talking. Um, yeah. So let's go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the country is running out of meds. I'm sure you saw a couple of of press statements come out about the country running out of meds. Come on, man. I know this would be voted for by either voting for it or by not voting, which means you vote for it. Because if you don't vote, you vote for whatever happens. You're saying that whatever has been going on, you want it to continue. And since we've been running out of medicine before and you decided not to vote, you voted to continue to run out of medicine. And so that's where we are. They run out of medicine. That's not a new story. It's going to continue. Electricity, they're saying you're going to have rolling blackouts. It's going to continue. Uh, Prepare for it because you voted for it by not voting or by voting directly for it. And so you're going to have more blackouts because that's what we were having. And so you voted for more of it. Um, and so I just want to get those things out of the way. Now, let's get to what's been going on with the Free National Movement. I saw some posts on Facebook recently, and I'm seeing desperate for leadership. So much so that I heard some people saying that Andre Rollins would be better for leader, and these F&Ms are saying this, better for leader than Michael Pintard. You should give him a try because he's rowing in the House of Assembly. That's the qualification. He's a good rower. He's rowing them. He's talking back to them. And so we should have Andre Rollins as leader, they're saying, of the F&M rather than Michael Pintard. And so when you've come no consideration about your vision for the country, your ability to govern, what you've done in the past, whether you've actually fought for the people in the past. Did you row for the people in the past? Have you ever rowed for any issue or done anything for any issue? You're rowing the politicians in the House of Assembly, and so you'd be better than Pintard. That's just saying a lot about how a lot of FNMs are feeling about Pintard, and the fact that they are willing to just put the standards down so much that, listen, once you could row, yeah, we want you to lead the FNM and lead the country. That's a serious state that they're now in. Um, Rollins is not his first rodeo. He's been doing this. He was rowing he was in the PLP. He left the DNA, sorry, no, the NDP, went to the PLP, had rows with Christie, left them, went to Minnis, had rows with Minnis, sided with Loretta, and then had row with Loretta. Loretta slapped him in the House of Assembly, was shocking. um, so there's a bunch of rowing, and now the people saying that because you can row is is why you should lead the FNM. That's I think it should be a little bit more than that. Um, I do like Andre, but I think I'm not getting in their business, but um, that shows the state where they are. If their qualification is that you can come to the house and row. All right, so all right, y'all keep rowing. But I think what we need is some results for the Bahamian people. We need action, actual action, um, so that we can get some things done in this country, and we can actually hold this government's foot to the fire, more than just rowing. All right. Okay. So I saw a video with Kwesi Thompson asking questions. I heard Michael Pintard asking questions. They are still asking questions. And normally, when you ask questions, it's because you don't want to make a statement. It's because you don't want to investigate. You don't really want to do anything. Um, um, and you don't want to take actions. You can just sit down and ask questions. So it could be said, "Oh yeah, they was questioning the government. They was asking them questions." My lord, what have we come to as a country? I remember Hubert Ingram when he was in opposition and Perry then was in. He would come with his little briefcase when it was time for him to speak, put that briefcase on the table, open it, make some statements, produce table some documents. When he finished, walk out and leave them with their mouth open and they can't say nothing but change the subject. I remember those days. I remember Perry Christie and them when they was in opposition, even if they had to take Ingram to court. All right, they had to take him to court for appointment of a senator before. They would hold I mean, they would actually do some stuff sometimes because they don't fight too hard. But why can't we take action? When Pinland and those was in the opposition before 1967, they would take action, man. Even if they had to jump on the plane and go to the Queen, they would take action. They would go to court. They would stand up. They would protest. They would do what they had to do. They would take action, man. This opposition is weak and it's annoying. I'll tell you why I'm saying this in a minute. We need real action. But after doing some of this investigation, me and my team, we there's a team behind this. I want you to know that. Strong team. We saw that there's some F&Ms who have to answer some questions. So since questions getting answered, I want you all to tag Carl Bethel and Michael Folks and tell them that later in this show, we got some questions for them because we got some documentation with their names and their law firm on it that could be linked to Eric Gardiner. Carl Bethel was the Attorney General when the F&M pushed Eric Gardiner's contract through. Perry them signed it the day before election, but it went through. And only that one went through. And we're trying to figure out why would you do this? But now we're starting to see some connections. So, Carl Bethel, we just got some questions for you. I know I sound like the police when they call you and say, come in. Tell Carl Bethel he called. The real opposition wants him to come forward and answer some questions and tell him bring Michael Folks with him. Because while Pinta and them asking questions, we got some questions for y'all. It's just questions. No, it's statements. But it's for y'all. Carl Battle, you call. We'll get back to that. But we need some real action in this dispensation. I see the F&M up in arms because they were not allowed to table their whatever that thing is they were trying to table. I think they were trying to table the affidavit. And this is why this government didn't want me in the House of Assembly, because they know that I know the law. And that would have been tabled. We got a bill tabled, Payment Evolution. We were in downstairs in Russell Square across the road. And we got a bill table in the House of Assembly while the whole F&M party was in there fighting for it not to be tabled. We got a bill tabled. They were forced to table it. And we was outside. I don't know if any of y'all remember that. Go Google it on or search it on YouTube. A bill for payments to benefit from the Aragonite. And the F&M fought it, and we still got a table from outside the house. You tell me the F&M couldn't get something as critical as this table in, and they inside the house? This is why they don't want us in the house, because they know we know what to do. Even if he didn't know what to do in terms of getting this bill tabled, which if I was there, that bill would have been tabled. Not the bill, the affidavit would have been tabled. All he had to do is say, okay, then draft a bill that would affect this, and draft a bill, and they have persons to second it, and you present this thing as a bill, not just as an affidavit trying to be tabled during the budget debate. You draft a bill that deals with these situations, and then you table it with that bill. Do you see, Michael Pintar? You table it as a part of the bill. In fact, you could put it in the bill. Because once a member of parliament tables a bill, it's a bill now, not just what they were telling you and is unsubstantiated, it's a bill now. And the bill would affect, for example, how you how you accept, how you check the backgrounds of certain people that participate with government. For example, you just make sure it's not a money bill, all right? But it could be a bill about persons charged in the United States of America and convicted in the United States of America, and how you deal with them in the United States, sorry, in the Bahamas once they come back. You figure out a bill and you draft it with the bill. Do you see? The Hawksbill Creek Agreement was a contract, but they put it in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement Act. They put it in an act. The whole agreement is in an act, and that's tabled in the House of Assembly. And so there's so many things if our opposition knew constitutional law that they could have done. And they have lawyers, crazy, but I don't really see crazy practicing no real law. So I don't think he knows the law. I don't know about Michaela. She apparently doesn't know the constitutional law to deal with this kind of stuff. I mean, Mr. White is there. He deals with white collar law. They don't have the necessary experience. If I were in the House of Assembly that day, they would have seen. But of course, neither the PLP nor the F&M wants that because they don't really want any real action to take place. So, Michael, you still have a chance. I'm helping you again. Because every time we have a class, they say I'm attacking you. But I'm doing this for a serious reason. Because I want you to do your job. Because we're paying you. We're paying you to do a job, Michael Pintard. I shouldn't have to be doing this. The COI is not getting paid for this. I get no money for doing what we are doing right now. This doesn't benefit me in any way other than it affects the country I'm living in and my children have to live and grow up in that I'm going to leave them in. I'm not getting paid for this. And so going to the police and giving a police officer some papers in the parking lot is not what you do. The leader of a opposition, you have standing to have audience with the commissioner of police. She cannot refuse to see you. You have standing to summons her or request an audience with her, because you can summons her with, as relates to PAC. Request an audience with her and said and say, Madam Commissioner, here is what we have found. And this is what we want investigated. This is our official complaint or our official notice to you. We're handing this over to you. You don't meet with one police officer in the parking lot. I know I was a staff officer, all right, good fella. That's not what you do. And then you take pictures. That's not how this is done. You put it in writing, you hand deliver it to her, you let her sign a copy, and that has some significance. Everything the FNM is asking questions about, they can file judicial reviews, and it is free. It is free, Bahamas, for them to file judicial reviews, and they have lawyers who will act for them for free to sign judicial reviews to hold the government's foot to the fire. If the government gives out any contract that they did not do properly, the FNM can file a judicial review and say this wasn't supposed to be given out, and it can be rescinded. They have that power, but they're not using it. Think of why, Bahamas. They're the PAC. They can take action on any money matter. And anything that's not a money matter, they can table a bill on it. They're not using their powers. I know Michael is a writer, a poet. He's out of his league when it comes to this stuff. And all they're trying to do is show. And I'm not saying this to attack him. For God's sake, please don't take the people keep getting me wrong on that. The opposition are the police of the government. And so when someone commits a wrong against you, the police job is to take that person before the courts. When the government goes out of order, the opposition's job is to take them before the court. They just ask them questions in parliament, take them before the court and force them to do what is right. So if you make a complaint to the police that someone did something to you and the police is doing nothing, you have to hold the police foot to the fire, not just the criminal, not just the wrongdoer. You say, officer, yeah, they did wrong, but I made a complaint. I showed you where the person lived. Why are you doing nothing about this? That's our job, to hold their foot to the fire. Why? It's the last thing I say before we get to the hot stuff. It's important because in this dispensation it's getting serious. And so we got to hold the opposition's foot to the fire so that they could hold the government's foot to the fire. Now we could be out there doing what we have to do. But our job is to deal with all two of them. So don't chastise me about holding the opposition's foot to the fire. They have a job to do. Let me show you how serious their job is. All right? I don't think some people understand how serious the job of the opposition is. It's very serious. Let me pull up something for you. Let's see, where is it? Okay, give me a sec. I want you all to see why it is incumbent upon us, the Bahamian people, the serious Bahamian people, to hold the opposition's foot to the fire. And it's disappointing when there are persons who are saying, leave the opposition alone. I'm going to show you why we cannot leave the opposition alone. Because I don't think many persons have considered this or taken this seriously. I'm trying to upload a document right now because I want you to see this visually. I don't just want you to hear this. I want this to strike you when you see this. When you see why I don't only hold the government's foot to the fire, I want you to see why I also hold the opposition's foot to the fire. All right? Both of them. Almost there. Just uploading okay, I can get it another way. Um, I want you to see why we hold all of their foot to the fire. All right? Just give me one sec. Let me just grab this for you. Yes. Because in this dispensation, the government has 5 years and they are not going to follow the law. And we have to press the opposition to act, man. We have to press them and let them know that we don't have time for the little gimmicks, the little show and tell, and the little press statements, etc. That they like to do. We have to show them that we are serious about our country and that someone gotta hold the government accountable, and that is a part of our democracy, and it is a very important part of our democracy. So I'm going to pull this up for you right now. I want you to see this. Um, so there are people who would call us and say, Lincoln, we need you all to do this. We need you all to do this. We need you all to come here. We need you to come in this island. We need to travel here. Deal with this. These people doing this. And every day that God sends, we are getting requests from all over this country, not the money to help us with the flights to get to them or to keep going or to do this or to have an office, etc. We're getting requests from people saying, come help us, come do this, our job doing this. They're doing this over here, the government doing this. Oh, you all need to deal with this and deal with that. But these are people who don't realize that we are doing this from the goodness of our heart, and because we genuinely love this country. We love this country. And we're doing it because we love this country and our people. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how much the F&M government is paid every single term? Sorry, not the F&M government, the opposition. Well, this opposition right now with its 8 members and its 4 senators, the opposition this term is going to be paid over $10 million. I'll bet you never thought of that. Over $10 million is going to the opposition and their 4 senators this term. So while they're asking you, oh, well, the government is spending millions of that, we ain't seen nothing. The government doing this and that, we don't see where the money going. The government is traveling. The government is gonna spend this amount of millions on travel. Well, this is the pay and benefits of the 8 opposition members and the Senate and their 4 senators. Let me break this down for you. And see, this is why when I stand in front of Michael Pintar and I say, do your job, this is no play thing. The 8 MPs are being paid almost $2 million per year. Yearly value. Look at it on the screen. The 8 of them, $1.9 million. Let me take this thing off the screen so y'all can see this properly. See that? Look at them numbers. And this is why I'm telling you, people need to earn their pay. This isn't a charity thing for them. They are not activists. This is serious. So while they playing games and playing show and tell and doing photo ops, we paying them same 8 people, $2 million a year. To do what? To do what? Let me fix this 1 minute because I'm going to take your comments off the screen in a sec so that uh, you can sorry. I want you to actually see this. Is this still sharing? I'm sorry, my computer just went crazy again. Okay, it's coming together. Hold on. Okay, everything went out. Okay. All right, I'm going to share that for you again. I had to take this off this because I want you all to see this. This is no game. And we get taken for granted and we get taken advantage of because we don't understand that it's both the opposition and the government, the executive that are the government. And all of them getting paid. The 8 MPs, when you total their salaries and you total the 150,000 that goes straight to their bank account, that has to be used for it's supposed to be used for the constituency. But if they use it or don't use it, who's accounting for that? That includes the 42,000 now that's for the office. That's still to benefit them and what they're doing. That includes the leader of the opposition salary. That includes his office, and that includes what his aides. All right, $2 million we are giving to these people. The senators are getting 53 million because their pay is less. The senators are getting 53 million. Sorry, 53,000 a year. Sorry about that. The four F&M senators. All right. So the yearly value, when you add the two of them together, is over $2 million, and over a 5-year term, that's over $10 million. Okay. And so I want you to see this is not a game. We're not playing with them. We're not saying, oh, they're out of government. They're not. We are paying them. The leader of the opposition's yearly total is $400,000. Over 5 years is $2 million. That includes his office allowance. But that's for him to operate. Each opposition MP, 221,000 when you include their office allowance, etc. $1.1 million over 5 years. The opposition whip is an add-on because the opposition whip gets paid. 12,000 dollars. Opposition whip. All right. This total includes the 8 MPs, payroll, related costs, constituency office allowance, etc. And so everything is included in that. Each opposition senator, that's their pay, and it also includes whatever all of these benefits you see here. All right. So when you hear me holding their foot to the fire, let me tell you something. This is not a game. We are paying the F&M to do their job. So they said, "Oh, that's nice. What's his name? Andre Rollins is in there rowing. He rowing them back. We paying him and giving him money so he could function in his role. We are paying him as an MP, and then paying for his office so he could operate as an MP, and paying him so he could do some stuff in the community." So understand why I do what I do. All right. And I know we've been long today, but I'm not playing with the government and I'm not playing with the opposition. They are paid. $10 million this term will go to the opposition. 10 million. So when you hear them crying but traveling and what the government doing, someone says, why are we focused on the F&M? Jesus. Maybe that person just tuned in. The government has a job to do. The F&M opposition has a job to do. They are part of the government. Their job is to hold the government's foot to the fire. And if they are weak on that, we have to make sure that they are strong and that they are doing what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, we can suffer. It's simple as that. If they don't do their job, we can suffer. Now we could do our job as a third party, but the F&M needs to actually take action, not ask questions in the House of Assembly, not row in the House of Assembly. Take action. Oh, you didn't follow the procurement laws. Judicial review. Anything the government said, sorry, the opposition says the government need to do, they need to tell us what they're going to do in the meantime. We need to hear a judicial review, or we need to hear the PAC is going to summons them. You understand? Because they have a job to do. I know they didn't teach us civics properly in school, so we don't understand that both of them have a job to do. But in order for us to survive this next 5 years, everyone has to do their job. And if one is failing, the other one has to hold their foot to the fire. It is our job as a third party to hold the government and the opposition's foot to the fire. And the people, you have to help us hold the opposition's foot to the fire. You got time for no photo ops and the others. I hope you understand. So now let's get to the meat of this. All right. Okay, this could be extended one today. But I had to get those things out of the way because people aren't understanding. And I need you to understand we can't be playing games with the government or the opposition. $10 million, over $10 million you all getting this term, and you all around here asking question. You all better go do some judicial review and stop these people and stop crying and saying they ain't listening. Anyway, let's get to what we came here for. All right, we came here to talk about to get to Kingsley Smith, who is politician number one. I'll get to that in a second. I was supposed to do a little mysterious reveal, but I have to keep moving quickly. We'll get to Kingsley Smith in a minute. Yes, Kingsley Smith is a politician number one. I'll tell you what he confessed to me. All right, I will tell you what he confessed to me. Kingsley, don't make me prove it, because you know I don't say nothing I can't prove. All right, so let's go on. Gardiner update. We found Eric Gardiner. We know exactly where he is. I spent the last couple of days trying to figure out if we should reveal exactly where he is, because the government might be trying to look for him to talk to him, or other people might be trying to look for him. We didn't know if America wanted to keep his location secret for whatever reason, so we didn't know if we should reveal his exact uh, location. Um, uh, so we had to like ponder over that for a minute, but he has a lawyer now, and the government can always call his lawyer. So we were like, okay, we might as well just reveal it, because his lawyer has right to have access to him. Although where he is, they can only do video call because of where he is. So I think we're gonna reveal where he is, and if someone who has any say over this doesn't want me to, just text me before I reveal it, because I'm about to reveal exactly where he is. Um, so right now, he is in Grady County Jail in Chickasha. I think that's how you pronounce it, Chickasha, Oklahoma. All right. Based on our search, he's in Grady County Jail in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and he is inmate number 1872. So what y'all could do is box that number, play that number straight, and box it. That's 1872. That's his number. That's his prison number, 1872, and he is in jail. And so that's a special prison. So here is where it is: Grady County, uh, Grady County Jail. Um, Hope we're not interfering with anything by revealing this, but we don't know why the government can't do this stuff. And they're hiring the wrong consultants, probably. And as you can see here, Eric Gardiner, and he is number 1872. All right, that's his prison number. All right, so he is in Oklahoma. He's not in New York yet. He's being held in Oklahoma. And a new uh, case has been filed against him. We heard, and he's going to be transferred from there to Pennsylvania and then from there to New York. Okay, a new case has been filed against him, a whole new case, and that's a case for indictment that is the right. I won't go into that because I've been talking long. I can show it to you, but there's some people now saying that he is the government is out of time. They have to let him go, etc. Listen, in the Bahamas, I can tell you what the police used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but I can tell you what the police used to do. When your 48 hours was up, they let you out on the porch, and then bring you back in. Hey, we just figure out something else. Come back and start it over. It's unethical. It's wrong, but that's what some persons would do, and they would get away with it. Um, I don't want you to think for 1 second that the government could have someone that is wanted, that they want, and they're going to let them go. The Southern District of New York is they are nicknamed the Sovereign District. The Sovereign because they don't play. And when they go after you, whether you are Al Capone or whoever you are, whether you're Martha Stewart or any of the hordes of persons they have arrested over the years, including politicians, including a mayor of New York, they lock up a mayor of New York. Once they get you, they have a strong case, and you go on. It's almost impossible to win a case against them. All right. And so when you see they have someone, they ain't letting them go. They can lock on them, and I don't see them just letting him go after holding him for all this time. There's a myriad of things that they can do. They might file an indictment tomorrow. But I think with this stretching over into a RICO case, they could possibly be investigating other things, including our politicians. You heard the ambassador say this is an open investigation. Our politicians' names have been called. So clearly they could be a part of this investigation. And so he said, wait and see. What he meant was watch and see. All right. And so the person, Juliana Murray, is the person dealing with this investigation. Let me tell you something. Juliana Murray don't lose. Google it. If Juliana Murray is on you, you done. That's like when the eye in the sky come, the bank robbers know the helicopter reach. Once the helicopter reach, it over. It over. You ain't getting away. And so Juliana Murray is a monster. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, she's a monster, like our Superman is a monster. She is a prosecutor with superpowers. Rudy Giuliani is a joke to her. And so criminals fear her. She's the real Iron Lady. She's a lady of steel. I'm telling you what I know. So if you see Juliana Murray is on that case, which she is, she deals with organized crime and the mafia and a lot of other stuff. Once you see her on that, listen, ain't nothing happening. So those who celebrate and saying Eric Gardiner is going to be released, nigga, sentiment was they ain't got nothing on him. Um, I'm not saying it can't happen, but all I'm saying is that's highly unlikely. That's highly unlikely that they could just let him go. So his lawyer filed some court filings, and of course, that's what lawyers do. Um, to be clear, 90 did the same thing. 90 did these constitutional filings. Oh, they didn't have a right to keep me. Oh, they extradited me wrong. It was illegal. It was unconstitutional. Like, okay, it's unconstitutional. Yeah. The court here told the government, yeah, you all was wrong. You all was out of order. It was illegal. Don't do it again. The court ain't do nothing. All they said was, don't do it again. If it happened again, it could be a problem. And the US say, oh, it was unconstitutional. Okay, yeah, whatever. You lock up. So I don't want you all to take this lightly at all. And these people are being flippant. Maybe they feel like our government might make a deal with the US government to say, okay, we won't deal with China anymore. We're going to behave. We let you do what you want to do. And so please let Eric Gardner go. If that happens, that would be a tragedy to democracy and to world ethics, unless they truly don't have anything on him, you know. But I don't see that happening. All right. I don't see that happening. So, um, those who are celebrating hoping he comes home. The PLP, and he has a lot of people fighting for him to come home, fighting. But now there's going to be a problem with his lawyers getting money, and it's going to be a problem with accessing bank accounts and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens. But I just wanted you all to know that Juliana Marie, a woman, don't lose. And so if she decides to keep him, he's going to be kept. All right? You could say what you want. Noriega could have cried constitutional all he wanted. What's his name? Maduro could cry constitution all he wanted. I don't see them letting him go. All right? So that's where we are with that. All right? So we know where he is. And of course, I know the government feel like they should hire us. Why we didn't hire Lincoln team to do this stuff? Because we ain't gonna work for y'all. All right, so just wanted you all to know that the yeah, they could say he's out of time, all this kind of stuff, but there's little hope for that. All right, there's little hope for him coming out. You're gonna see an indictment could come as early as this week. All right, or some other charges could come as early as this week. So just hold on, something is coming. Now this brings us to and did y'all tag Carl Wilshire Bethel and Michael Folks, because we have some questions on what y'all are about to see in a minute. All right, we have some questions. Now there's a lot of family ties here, in which we understand. Everyone has family, and not because someone is related to someone means they have done wrong. If their family member did wrong, and that don't mean they're connected to the wrong their family is doing. But we just noticing some ties here. We know that Eric Gardiner is a person who refused to do business in his name. So what he would do is have other persons front for him, and anyone who knows about company and how they set up stuff and how people who want to hide stuff, how they do things. That's just how it's done. All right, it's not spoken, but and then the first excuse you make when something happens is that, oh no, he don't really own the company. No, his nephew own it, his niece own it, his auntie own it, or his Grammy own it. No, that's his mummy company. We know that's how they do it. All right, that's how the mafia did it, and that's why they brought out RICO laws, and that's why I believe that a bigger investigation is happening with RICO, and everyone attached to Eric Gardner is going to now come under scrutiny. Everyone. I can tell you that everything I'm showing you, the investigators over there, they are looking at the same thing. All right, they know this, and so what I'm showing you is stuff that they look at, and they are tying the knots. They got one big board up, and picture and the name of each person and a line coming down from each one. Eric Gardner, what the other fellow was, Healed, that we talked about last week. Oh, Healed says he owns Top Notch and he owns this and he owns that, but he's living in an apartment in Carmichael Road, a two-bedroom apartment. Oh, no. Oh, he had to get a little loan for this and that. No. Yes, he don't own these companies. He's fronting. And so they can see what's going on. So we can hide and play and whatever we want, but America is looking at this. All right. Now, family ties. So you saw that, and I don't want to bring all of their family in this, but because a lot of his family is innocent, most of his family, almost all, is innocent and not involved in this stuff. But there seems to be some players that are coming out piece by piece as investigations continue. I'm getting access to certain things, and we're investigating certain things, and some family members have some questions to answer. So you will remember that. You'll remember that. Yes, you'll remember that when we looked at the documents for Top Notch and those other companies, we saw another Gardner on there, but it wasn't Eric Gardner. And so we saw Healed, who appears to us to be fronting for Eric Gardner. And we saw another Gardner on there. His name was Richard Gardner, but a lot of people don't know who Richard Gardner is. All right. And so Richard Gardner, Richard Gardner is the brother, yes, the brother of Eric Gardner. And he was a superintendent or chief superintendent, right? He was a superintendent of police. And there are people who feel that it's just their feelings. Um, this Richard Gardner might have been helping Eric to be able to do some of the things he was doing. And so that is in some people's minds. But he had a senior police, and in those days, a chief superintendent was a big position. It wasn't like now when they pile up a bunch of assistant commissioners just to give people promotions for favor. Assistant commissioners and commissioner and deputy commissioners was rare. Um, Superintendents and chief superintendents was the real bosses who ran different things. He even worked to criminal records office at one point, but he is totally connected to Eric Gardner because that's his brother, and and he then went on his brother's company. All right, this company that is clearly a front for Eric Gardner, and so that's chief superintendent. So by this, we can't say that uh, chief superintendent has done any wrong other than being on that company with him, but he was a police officer and in big position. And the thing about Eric Gardner is, some people say, "Oh, he was never convicted in the Bahamas." No, he was never convicted in the Bahamas, but Eric Gardner, on many occasions, was arrested in the Bahamas. He was arrested many times, but it seems like somehow someone would get a call and say, "Let that one go." Being a former police officer, I know how that works. And so someone would get a call, let him go. So he was arrested many times. If you look in the police computer, you will see Jonathan Eric Gardner name many times. But he would always get off. And so why? We don't know, but we know that he had a brother who was a superintendent while a lot of this was going on. And that brother went on a company with him. But again, it's his brother, so you take what you want from it, um, and you come to your own conclusion. But now that brings us to another family member, also related to that brother. And this one is very interesting. And we're going to pull up a lot of documents reference to this. And this is where we need Carl Bethel. I might have to get him on the phone. And Michael Folksaks answer some questions for us because it could be innocent and it could not. And that's how they set these things up. Um, so he has a nephew. So Eric Gardner has a nephew. You heard them talking about Kwesi Thompson's wife being a relative of Eric Gardner. Well, she is his niece. All right, and being his niece doesn't mean she did anything wrong. All right, um, but Spence Dorset is the nephew of Eric Gardner. All right, he's the nephew. And so let me show you, let me teach you how to do research because this isn't necessarily for you, but maybe some young person watching this with you who might have to stand up because you all let the same government get back in so they can do what they want and do what they want to me. So maybe some young person might watch this and this might educate them on how to stand up and fight and investigate. All right. So um, this this me maybe that's it. Okay, so this Spence Dorset person is interesting. Just like the heel fellow, when we looked at everything and put everything together, it looked very suspicious. And Spence um, is a proprietor of a particular company. All right, based on what we're seeing and our investigations, it is looking like he is really fronting that company for uh, uh, Mr. Gardner. And I'm going to show you why we feel that way. And again, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But since they refuse to give us our Freedom of Information Act that they've been promising for the last 30 years, and since they refuse to to investigate this, then we have to come to some conclusions. All right. So we're going to show you some documents, and this is serious. All right, this is serious. So Spence is the nephew. Let me. All right, I'm going to pull this up. Um, One way that you find persons and their relations is obituaries. I know they can stop using them now because we're on to them. But one way that you find these persons is obituaries. All right. Now I'm not. I'm gonna try to pull this up in a way that you can't see the face of the deceased because I don't want to traumatize family members. Um, but when you pull up obituaries, that helps you to find the family connections of persons. All right. And so this is how we found out uh, the persons who Eric Gardner was related to because in the obituary, they put everybody there. All right. And if you leave someone off, that's an offense. And so while they'll say, don't put me on social media, might not have a social media page, don't like to take pictures, they appear in obituaries. So for the young person who's coming up who has to continue the fight for New Bahamas. That's how you find them. Okay, that's how you find relations. As an investigator, we'll always have tricks. Like for example, if you're at the airport, you're an investigator, and you're trying to see if two people are actually traveling together and pretending not to be together, like they may be money movers or drug movers or whatever, and you want to see if they're together. You make a big scene, like make a big noise or a big crash in the lounge where they're waiting. Boom! Everyone gonna look, but then those two people are going to look at each other. It happens every time. So you see them, everyone will look at where the noise came from, then those two people will look at each other. You see? And so that's how you'll find, oh, yeah, they're traveling together. So these are little investigative tricks. So I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to a young person who might come up later and want to stand up and fight for our Bahamas. So I'm going to show you this obituary, and this is going to show you some stuff. And again, these family members on here, they have done nothing wrong, but we're just showing you family connections. All right. So this was the death notice of Miss Snyder Rose Gardner. Um, and she apparently was the sister. And so if you look at the survive uh, uh, by her daughter, etc. Right? Sons Spence Dorset, and so you see his name here, Spence Dorset. All right, and then you can see Richard Gardner, the officer that we named earlier, and you can also see. I'm not calling all these people names because they ain't doing nothing wrong. Eric Gardner. You see? So the Richard Gardner that you saw that we know is the brother, and now you see Eric Gardner. And so Spence Dorset is, and Eric Gardner is here as the brother. You see? So that means Spence is his nephew. You see? And so now his nephew has a company that mysteriously has an interesting name. We'll start with there. The company has an interesting name, so I'll let that go. So you see the evidence that okay, that's the brother. Now, you'll hang with me, getting somewhere. Um, let me know if Carl Battle on here yet, and Michael Folks. All right, and so that is how you can investigate and you can see that okay, this is Eric Gardner's nephew. And this is what the investigators are doing. They're looking to see everyone who's connected. Some of y'all make it easy by social media. You take some picture at some point or whatever, and they can see whatever. Even your Google photos, they can identify based on your facial recognition. But now we see that that's his nephew. Now they're going to look to see, okay, just one nephew. Let me see what he's interested in. Let me see if he has a company based on income, based on his bank. Let's see. So they're going to look at everyone, including Crazy Thompson's our wife. They're gonna. That's how investigators do. They're going to look at everyone. But when this person was looked at, these questions came up. So uh, there's an interesting company. Let me pull this company up for you. It's an interesting company that came up. Okay, it's right here. I'm going to pull it up for you. Give it a sec to open up. It's an interesting company that came up. There it is. So let's go back. Classes in session. So this company here is called Jarek Enterprises Limited. Jarek Enterprises Limited. And this is a company that is purported to be owned by Spence Dorset, who is the nephew of Eric Gardiner. And again, all of this is just stuff that we're noticing, all right, that investigators are noticing. Ask me how I get an access to this? Well, I am. Certificate of good standing. And this, so Jarek, and so the company seems to be, and someone who always told me, investigator, when you want to see the connection, look in the name. Jonathan Eric, Jarek. So it's not exact, it's not Jarek, but Jonathan Eric, Jarek. Got him. All right. So again, that's circumstantial. So Jarek Enterprise. So you see the Rick in the name, like Eric, and then the J, Jonathan Eric. So it's hidden in there. But again, circumstantial. Stay tuned. Hope y'all can see it. Is it on the screen? Uh, no, didn't put it on the screen. Sorry about that. I thought we had it up on the screen. So sorry. Just a company. Just want you all to see this. Y'all spending the evening with me. And again, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. I didn't get any peas and rice either. I had Kentucky. I could probably have some ice cream when I finish this. But you know, fathers, they always forget us. But happy Father's Day to all of you fathers, and God bless you. You're the pillar of our community. Take your place, stand up, defend your country against all others. All right, but here it is. This is the certificate, and it's Jarek Enterprises Limited. Again, and we're just investigating and looking. And again, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But the Jonathan, Eric, that seems to be in the name. And that's one way you investigate. And that's how you start to get leads. So we just wanted you all to see this um, as we go on. So stay tuned. So that's what we noticed. And so as we continued, it got even more interesting. Um, that's Jarek. Now, we then, or the investigators then, look to see what Jarek Enterprises owns to see if this might just be some front company. Maybe this is a 20-year-old fella and he might have started a business and doing well by himself. Might have built a triplex or maybe a fourplex, bought, a property, maybe two properties. And he might have done something. Okay, any 20-something-year-old could do that. But then it got serious as you pulled up the actual properties. Let me show you how much properties this fella, who was probably in his, just off the top of my head, in his 27, 28 at the time. And I don't mean he can't own no stuff, but this is how investigations work. And then, you could be cleared as innocent later. But I'm going to show you the properties. Now, here's the thing. These properties are owned in Venice Bay. It feels like Eric Gardner, well, this company owns half of Venice Bay. That's how it seems. All right. It's like this company owns half of Venice Bay. And we're gonna pull up now and show you the list of companies from the government's registry that is owned purported to be owned by this person. So we saw that the last person, that heel fella, um, with all these millions and millions of dollars in contracts, and you saw where um, the stuff happened, and his son had to get a, what do you call it, a low cost house, and that kind. So the stuff didn't add up. All right. Now again, we pulled up this. I'm showing you what the investigators are doing. While we sitting here rowing back and forth, if you're PLP, you're rowing one way. If you're F&M or COI, you're rowing another way. But this, the investigators looking at these, and then they're going to piece it together. All right. This is Venice Bay. It seems like they own half of Venice Bay. So this Jarek Enterprises, you can see in each one of these, and this is the block number and property number here. So this block 23, number 32. All right, I make it as big as I can. So the lawyer for these is Lloyd C. Johnson. I heard he's deceased. So I'll just move that on the side to make it bigger so you can see more of it. All right, see it more clearly. Now, I'm going to scroll down so you can see here. Each one of these is a property that they own. This is conveyance. From Venice Bay Holdings to Jarek Enterprises. See all of them? Venice Bay Holdings to Jarek Enterprises. So this person is saying he owned all these properties. Watch, he's still scrolling. All these properties in Venice Bay. All right? All these properties in Venice Bay. Look, see more? See more? All these properties in Venice Bay. All of these. Look at that. Look at that. On another page. Look at all these properties in Venice Bay alone. Do y'all see this, farmers? See, because what drug dealers have to do, I'm not saying Dorset is a drug dealer, but we're looking at this stuff. What drug dealers have to do is hide their money in properties. All right? You see, that's another page. You start another page. That's in 2 pages. There's another page. Look. All of these. All right? All of these. Jesus. Wow. And so there's a lot of transactions. All right. But there was one interesting transaction in all of this that we noticed. There was an affidavit of beneficial ownership, and we're going to show that. And then there was a mortgage. So you own all these properties. You see how long we've been scrolling? You own all these properties, right? All these property. Look, 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 look. All these property you own. All these property. All these property. All of them. Cedric L. Parker and Co. That's the F&M people, eh? I ain't saying they do nothing wrong, but look, Cedric L. Parker and Co. Okay. All right. So all these properties. Oh, look at that. Bethel, Moss, and Co. Now we're gonna dig into that because Carl Bethel, this was his law firm. Bethel, Moss, and Co. was Carl Bethel Company, and Willie Moss, the Carl Bethel Company, and Carl Bethel was the Attorney General when this whole thing went through for Eric Gardiner. And we was trying to figure out, why would the F&M go through with this? That's what we were trying to figure out. Like, y'all gotta know who Eric Gardiner is. We saw the F&M do the thing, sign the contract the day before election. And then when y'all get in, it said the cabinet of the Bahamas allowed it to go through because y'all could have stopped it. There was others that were stopped. But it's like this particular one with Eric Gardiner was just allowed to go through. But now we see Bethel, Moss, and Co. And hold on to that. And you see, they did we call this affidavit of beneficial ownership. And that the affidavit by the Spence Burton Dorset to say that he's the beneficial owner. And then I can show you another conveyance that's going to bring everything to you. So let's stop sharing that and we can bring something. So y'all just hang on. This is how investigations work. All right? It's a tedious process, but let's keep going. Y'all hang in there. Y'all got Carl, right? Y'all tied Carl Battle? Because we just want to know. And so that's when it got serious. And so Carl did a affidavit. Let me pull up the David for y'all. Okay, affidavit. All right, pulling it up now. So this is affidavit of Spence. Y'all hang in there. All right, let's pull that up for you. So I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. All right. So this here is affidavit of beneficial ownership. This is done by his lawyers, Bethel, Moss, and Co. And so this Carl Bethel them. All right. And this was in 2013. This affidavit was done to show beneficial ownership of this company. Let me see. Yeah, 2013. So here it is, August 2013. Now, and this is the affidavit of Spencer Dorset. Let's keep going. And I want you to see who did this affidavit, who submitted this, etc. Instrument data form. So here you see Bell Moss and Co. And the contact person, the person who submitted this, Michael A. Folks. This is the F&M. This is the F&M minister. He was the MP for Golden Gates, and he was an F&M minister. All right, F&M MP. So that's Michael A. Folks. He ran again this time. So I just wanted y'all to see that. All right. Now, again, if they bring it down because they don't want y'all to see this kind of stuff, you know they got something to hide. Um, and so this is the affidavit saying that he's the president, director, and beneficial owner. So again, innocent until proven guilty. It might be genuine. It might be that this man just is able to own what seems to be half of Venice Bay. All right, because he might just have the means and the resources to do so. So, um, so you see the signature. I want to show you this. This is legit. So let's keep going. More documents. Y'all stay tuned. Um, next. Uh, so he says he's the beneficial owner of this. And so we know how mafia people do it. Not that he is or doing anything out of order, but we know how they do it. They put their family members, uh, their their brother, their niece, their nephew, their uncle, to front for them, people they could trust. But let's keep going. Now, what we saw was something strange. We saw that this fella